What's up? Wild card weekend in the books. More coaches gone.
A little strong.
A little strong?
A little strong. It wasn't quite on point with... I poured this in the dark, which sounds sadder than it is, but...
You'll be fine. It's fine.
Right.
It's fine. Everything is great. You know who you're doing better than? You're doing better than Pittsburgh Steelers fans today. They're having a tough day.
Some of them are happy.
Some of them are idiots.
A lot of happy guys out there.
Mike Tomlin stepping away from coaching, which is a funny way of saying he got asked not to come back. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk a little bit about it because Pittsburgh famously doesn't fire coaches. We're going to talk a little bit of...
greatest example of such we've had yet.
Yeah. Bill Cowher was up there. This one feels good. And we're going to talk a little bit about games this week. Talk a little bit about what happened. We're going to talk Patriots, of course. We're going to talk Houston Texans. We're going to talk Buffalo. We're going to talk Denver. We're going to talk about the NFC. We got a rivalry matchup, which I love. And I think we've got some more football talk to come to. But first, most importantly, I want to give you the floor to talk about the Red Sox, because the Red Sox did not sign Alex Bregman, whom they traded the farm to get. And I don't mean the literal farm. I mean your superstar,
the actual farmer,
the superstar player that your entire roster was supposed to be built around, the face of your franchise. You traded him for 6 months of this guy with the expectation he was coming back. And then
he opted out.
And then he said no.
I said, don't panic. I'm 99.9% sure that Alex Bregman is going to return. And I still feel like I should have been correct about that. But then you look back and you realize that it's the Boston Red Sox we're talking about. There is no entity in sports, and there's a lot out there that just likes to lie to their fan base more often than the Boston Red Sox do. I looked it up. It's called a mythomaniac. It's when you just lie and it feels good and you can't stop. They just keep doing it. That's the Red Sox. They just love putting me through the ringer, and all the other fans out there. I said a couple weeks ago, if you don't bring Bregman back, it's one of the most mismanaged situations in the history of sports, let alone baseball, let alone the franchise. You traded Rafi Devers for Jordan Hicks, who I called the baseball equivalent of leaving the door open with the heat on. I'm giving you $12 million for what? I literally can't put you in any inning of a baseball game. Kyle Harrison, who jury's still out, but haven't seen you yet, so you're not on my radar. Dustin May, because Tibbs, you flipped immediately for him. And a second Bayo, which I love Bayo, but we don't need a second one. Mm-hmm. The return alone was ridiculous, and they tried to spin it. They said, all right, it's not about the return. It's about the freeing up of assets. Now we have all this money to place elsewhere, players that we feel more confident about. And all I've heard about is Alex Bregman and how this is going to be his team now. He's taken over, and you refuse to pay him. And in fact, he brought the offer the Cubs gave him back to you, and you scoffed at it. You were, no trade clause. Why would I give out one of those? The last time I did that was Pablo Sandoval and Carl Crawford. And I understand you have a battered history with no trade clauses, but guess what? This is what free agency is. You have to pony up, you have to overpay, and you have to give in these caveats to get people to come here. And if the one thing Bregman was set on was a no trade clause, how are you even gonna look at that guy and go, no, that's a crazy ask? He spent the last 2 years in free agency going back and forth. This is a franchise that has shown time and time and time again that they do not care, and they will trade you, whether you're viewed as a franchise piece or not. Though, if he just wanted a little faith from their side, he'd be like, no, you're not going anywhere. This is actually what we wanted to do. Why can't you do that?
It's not an overpay. It's not about overpaying. It's about paying fair market for a player. It's about showing them a little bit of love after they come and they give you everything. He gave you the market. Someone else is going to pay it. It's not an overpay.
Why overpay? You have to. That's what free agency is.
Every
Any
free
single
agent is
player in
overpaying.
free agency is getting
Every
overpaid. Every
every
single one.
but it's not even just free agency. Even these extensions, some of these
The only
extensions are
time you
wild.
look at one where to counter that, the only time you see a deal where you're like, oh, that's a steal. They got him on a really good deal. Is some when you extend somebody in house, like the
That's
Roman
super
Anthony
young. Roman
extension.
Anthony, yeah, I was gonna say Tatis extension was a good one.
Jackson Merrill in San Diego too. All
Jackson
of the
Merrill was
Braves
great. Yeah,
deals the last like
every
5
Brave deal.
years.
Yeah, every Brave deal.
Those are when you actually make the good deals. In free agency, you have to overpay. It's much like the deadline with trading. Like you're
Yeah,
going to be paying a premium for these guys because you think it's going to make you compete right away, or it's filling a need that is so obviously glaring. You have to overpay to make that happen.
Boston didn't
Um,
think it was fair market for them.
they
Maybe,
never do.
maybe, but that's not the
That's
point. The
the
point
issue.
is okay. So welcome to fourth in the AL East.
Exactly. And when you look at the total money that you saved, which is again their like sticking point when it comes back to the Rafi shit, which by the way is not going away. It's only going to get louder the more you do this shit. The fact if you came away with Bregman, it would have at least silenced him. But like, yeah, we swapped Rafi for Bregman. This is what we're doing. You missed out on that.
Yeah,
He was right there for you, gave you ample opportunity. It's fucking January 14th. When did Dylan Cease sign? Like a month and a half ago?
he
This should
signed him
have
right
been
after
done
the
day
signed him
two of free agency.
right after the World Series. It was like free agency opened, and they were like, "You ready to sign?" He was like, "Yep,
Yep, sold.
let's go."
It's fucking asinine.
And
And then
wait out
you
Boris
look, like I said, you
clients.
look at the money.
So I was gonna say,
Boris
waiting out
loves to wait. He's a patient man.
waiting out Boris clients only works for you if Boris clients don't get bought by somebody else. And that's the problem right now is Boston is playing, they're like, we're just gonna wait our turn. And Baltimore is like, yeah, fuck that. We'll just give them a couple extra years and some
Dude, I said it when they signed Alonzo. Like, that's literally losing
it's,
out on a babysitting job to Casey Anthony. You're like, I don't have better credentials than that. I couldn't put together a better package of
you didn't want to
myself than
overpay.
that.
That's the thing. You're not. I don't want to overpay. This is what we're reading in chat. Is it's at Boston didn't think it's an overpay. That's a problem. The problem is you need to overpay because it's free agency. Free agency is always an overpay. There is
That's why you keep missing out on
never,
shit and
never been
losing
a
out
free
on
agent.
players. Mookie should still be here if you just gave him the money that he should have gotten. Whether it's an overpay, fair market, I don't give a fuck. This is sports.
Ranger
You have to
Suarez does
overpay.
not help this team in
We'll get
enough
to
of a.
Ranger Suarez.
He's not
The
enough of
money
a help.
saved with the Bregman opt out was like $80 million. The money that you still had to pay Rafi was like $300 million.
Yeah,
That 380, we're calling it loose. 380.
sure.
The 165 from Bregman and the 155 from Alonso is still less than that. You still could have brought in Contreras or Gray or Oviedo, and you still would have been like that's where you reallocate the funds. You can't sit here and tell me that oh we're just gonna spend somewhere else. Look at the free agency class next year because it's fucking worse.
It doesn't get any
When are you
better.
going to do this? And Ranger Suarez, good player. I like him. Like if we weren't just on the heels of me losing my shit the other night, I'd be much more excited about the deal. But you can't sit here and tell me that you can give $135 million overpay for Ranger Suarez, but you can't do the same thing for Bregman, who you gave up your franchise to get. My biggest
That's
gripe
my
with the
issue.
Boston offseason is every piece you have so far, you've given up something to get, aside from Suarez. But again, we can argue over semantics about how the money should be spent or where it's coming from
But
for hours.
I don't get warm and fuzzy over Ranger Suarez if I'm the Red Sox. I feel happy that you've done something, but that's akin to Anthony Santander with Toronto last year. It's you've missed out on literally every piece that you were chasing, and you ended up with we ended up. I mean, they ended up with Tony Taters, which was not ideal at that time. And at the time, we didn't realize the power of friendship was going to propel them to a World Series title. So the hope has got to be there, but it's like it's really hard to get behind a front office that is not willing to spend a nickel to make this team better
It's why
in a
nobody wanted the
division.
GM job. It's why you ended up with Craig Breslow. How am I getting outspent by, no offense, the Toronto Blue Jays and the Baltimore Orioles? I shouldn't be.
You can drop him down in the. You can drop Sonny Gray down in the rotation. You're still getting bodied by almost every other rotation in the division. That's the problem. The problem isn't that Boston isn't trying to bring people in. The problem is Baltimore got better. New York didn't get much worse. They're about the same as they were.
And
A little
we're
improved.
giving up things to
Toronto
stay stagnant and to stay the fourth best team in the AL East, while
Toronto
all of you
also still
guys
got
went
better.
out and spent money and still have all of your pieces.
So Toronto got better, hardly lost anything. New York didn't lose much. Potentially could lose Bellinger, but whatever. They're still good. Baltimore got significantly better for a young team that is like poised for a bounce back. Tampa is always pesky. Tell me how Boston doesn't finish fourth or fifth in this division.
You're banking on a Cy Young season from Crochet, those pitchers you traded for to be number twos, all of them, a Roman Anthony MVP campaign like that. That's not smart business. That's not for a team that wicked overperformed last year.
Yes.
A super young roster. You had all these rookies come up and just fit into spots, and you still ended up a game off from the ALCS. Like, that's the exact time you need to spend. Plus, you have players on controllable contracts. Your core, Anthony, Campbell, Meyer, all those guys. Then you add in the Crochet contract. Bayo's locked down. Rafaela's locked down. Like, this is the time to spend money on a big name free agent. And from everything that we heard about the Red Sox this year is they were going to do that with Bregman. And then we get to this is why people were so upset when Rafi got traded. And it's the same shit that this front office does time and time and time again, is they just lie and they try to cut corners. They want to act like a big market team when it comes to the profits, but when it comes to actually handing out money, they're like, oh no, we're the Royals. We're the Minnesota Twins. We don't spend money.
Both of those teams have
signed more free agents than us. Yep.
Bellinger would be a decent loss, but I have a feeling if Bellinger goes, then the Yankees will pivot to someone else. They have money to spend it, and they aren't afraid to spend it. They know they're in an arms race with Toronto right now.
Look, I'm not trying to say that the roster isn't
I know.
salvageable, and there's no hope. Like, it's just a repeated offense that like we do this shit constantly. And the fact John Henry hasn't faced media since Mookie Betts is fucking insane. The only time we ever hear from him is through a website that he owns. Like, how is he even allowed to do that? With the last time we saw his face was him freaking out about Rafi in Kansas City. He's traded a month later. And before that, it was him lighting a cigar when he fucking signed Alex Bregman and pushed Rafi out the door.
I'm not saying there's no hope for Boston. And I think the Sox have a lot of young players. The problem with young players, it is so hard to have consecutive, consistent seasons while they're learning. Like, everybody that hit like just absolute rocket taters last year, pitchers have a full year of tape on them now. And that hurts. Because not everybody's going to, like, a lot of those guys are going to be great. Some of them are going to be good. Some of them are going to have big slumps, and it's going to be too much asked of them. You had an opportunity to improve the roster. Bichette is out there. I'm going to tell you, you're not going to get Bichette.
We're interested in Bo Bichette.
No,
that's the farthest it's going to get. We're going to be a stepping stone for him to get a bigger contract.
He's going to Philadelphia.
I think that's Philly, the Giants.
One of those
not
two.
Here.
And Toronto's still in there somewhere, but I think Toronto is reserved to the fact that he's probably not coming back, which makes me very sad. It also makes my Bo Bichette.
Is Bo Bichette store brand? Then we're not interested.
Yeah. Bo Bichette is he is going to have whatever he wants. He wants like a $300 million deal. You wouldn't pay for Bregman. You're fucking not paying for Bo Bichette. There's no way. I would be shocked if Bo Bichette signs. Totally shocked.
I see other reports of the Red Sox are going to pivot to Bo Bichette. They wouldn't pay Alex Bregman. They're not pivoting anywhere.
There's no pivot.
I fell back in love with baseball and this team last year, and it felt like we were turning a corner. It was like, okay, we're competing.
It was
again.
fun, man.
We're serious. And no, they just continue to put cigarettes out on me.
Saving up to trade
like
for
that
school?
bitch.
Maybe.
Wally the Green Monster dressed in nothing but a wife beater with a half-empty bottle of booze and a cigarette. The cigarette's just right on my arm.
Yeah.
Like, how much for tickets? Okay, I'll pay it.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
It's fucking ridiculous,
All
dude.
right.
They do it every year. Like that, it's you can't keep getting away with this, but they do. They do keep getting away with it, and they don't care if we go because they'll fill it with road fans.
That's 100% true. It's unfortunately for you, it's a landmark stadium, and a lot of people
I need
want to
somebody
go
to do
there.
the Lord's work, and just whenever Roman Anthony is about to bat, just hit me up. I'll pop on the stream. I'll watch his at bat, and I'll fucking go away. Go back to the hole I'm in.
Well, you want to talk about something slightly happier? How about a
I
little happier?
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe a little
That's
Patriots
that's
talk.
the Patriot. If the Patriots didn't win this week,
Oh, it would have been the
holy
worst.
fuck! I don't know if I would have done the show. I would have just been in the dark. I would have been pouring this in the dark, drinking it in the dark, living in the dark. It would have been a tough week. The Red Sox are honestly lucky that the Patriots are still playing football right now because they would be getting torched in local media. They are, but it would be
Well, but
so
the
much
difference
worse.
is Boston Bruins are also playing very well right now, and I
10
mean they
goals on your
10.
forehead.
Yeah. So the Red Sox were like, hey, this is a good time to not re-sign Bregman. This is a great time to do it. Patriots are hot. Bruins just put up a 10 spot. Let's move off from him. Patriots beat the Chargers, beat down of the Chargers, like physically. They assaulted that man. He like that offensive line.
Justin Herbert's
So
life is
bad.
a foxhole in Vietnam. It's
Yes,
just it's just mines, explosions, bodies falling, just
it's like
muck, trench
it's
foot.
no, it's Band of Brothers. It's worse than Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's just Band of Brothers. They're at the I forget the name of the ridge now. Anyway, they're in the woods. Band of Brothers. It's just snow everywhere. People
The
are
only thing
like,
coming to my mind is Ruby Ridge, and that's not right.
it's not.
That's
That's not
something
it.
totally
That is
different.
way different. That
Way
is
different.
so different. It is Bastogne. Yes, yeah. They're in the woods in Bastogne, and it's all frozen ground, and people are losing limbs from the cold, the frostbite, and they're just getting shelled. It's just artillery shells blowing up trees,
Dude,
and you're
all I
just
could
in
think
your hole.
about during that game was that the Chargers rested their starters and lost on purpose the last week of the season to
To
come to
get
New
New
England
England.
to
Yeah.
score 3 points and watch Justin Herbert get absolutely fucking obliterated.
Yeah. It's not a good look.
Find this guy's tweet.
It's not a good look.
The
What did
the start of the game was like concerning, I'd say.
Sure.
Drake May didn't play well. Pats weren't really moving the ball, and it seemed like every time we started to get pressure on Justin Herbert, he just moved up in the pocket, made a move, and all of a sudden they had a new set of downs. What changed was we stopped letting him run. Like
Yeah.
the opposite thing sort of happened with the Pats, where once Drake May started to run and force the defense to play a little bit differently, all of a sudden the ball started moving, and he was like, what, 14 for 17 in the second half, something
Yeah.
like
He
that.
was much better in the second half.
Way better in the second half, and it's because his legs were moving. Whereas Herbert was the opposite. He started moving his legs. The Patriots adjusted, started cutting off running lanes, and then all of a sudden you have all these pressures, QB hits, sacks. I think we had 6 sacks, 11 QB hits.
Yep.
He was under duress, and I told like, it's not like this was a unique take. This is pretty much universal for anybody that knew these teams. The X factor was always going to be the D line for the Patriots, and they showed up.
They showed up in a big way, and I think that it showed you how Vrabel is going to coach the playoffs differently than other. What I noticed about the other games during the weekend was that there were teams that got close on fourth down. Buffalo did this a lot. Jacksonville did it a couple of times. Um, Philadelphia did it a few times. Like you see the team gets like there, it's like 4th and 2, and they're in a situation where they have no business going for it, and they're like,
The Bears,
I'm gonna Dan Campbell this. Let me just get
the
my
Bears did it
wheelbarrow.
literally 8 times.
Yes, I'm gonna get my wheelbarrow and walk out my nuts
Buffalo
here.
Soldier,
Yeah,
mother.
it's you're just little hoppy hop over there on those big old nuts. Mike Vrabel didn't do that. He said I trust my defense. He said, I trust my defense. So we're going to play the field position. It was very old school, like, and you could tell people were like, Patriots score. They score they score that touchdown. They
Which was a
go up.
dot.
It was
Absolute
a
beauty
beautiful
down the
dot.
ground.
Yeah.
Between
The
three guys.
con-
Jalen Hurts could never.
conventional wisdom says you go for 2 to make it a 14-point game. And Vrabel said, fucking why? They're they're not going to beat us. He said, I trust my defense.
Have you seen the defense out there right now?
Yeah. Milton Williams said, I'm hungry.
Milton Williams is the closer, dude.
He sent
Coffee's for
Herbert,
closers, and Milton Williams is caffeinated.
he sent Justin Herbert into the upside down. He RKO'd that guy. Like, he came in. My God, it's Randy Orton.
He literally like just forearm shivered both guys that were double teaming him, and he was on Herbert in half a second.
Yeah. Trust the defense this week as Stroud is good for 2 or 3 turnovers. Stroud couldn't hold on to the ball. We could talk about that game in a second. We're going to talk about Houston and New England for sure.
I feel we'll go through all of the Sunday games and then the Monday, and then we'll talk this week.
Yeah, I think that we had a lot of good that came. I'd like to see the run game more involved. I think you're going to see kind of like an old school Patriots offense here, where it's control the ball, controlled field position, special teams, special players, and we're going to see the defense stand up. So, like, I'm a lot more confident today. I'll be even more confident if Houston is without Nico Collins.
How long have I said I don't want to see the Texans? It's been months.
Yep.
Forever.
Yeah.
I want no part of this team, but unfortunately here we are, and I knew this was going to happen.
That offense does not look good.
It looks awful.
Okay. So we'll talk.
Like this game, we thought the Chargers-Patriots game was like sad defensive. We're getting the exact same thing again.
What the fuck let's
was.
Just talk about it, because let's talk about the Texans Steelers, and then we'll get into New England Houston, because obviously the Houston game on Monday was gross. It was so gross. Like, no offense was getting anything done. There weren't a ton of like defensive standout plays. It was just like solid coverage. Like, no one could get open. DK got open a few times, but nothing that was like groundbreaking.
He still got held under 50 yards.
Yeah. You didn't get Gainwell or Jalen Warren rolling. Chubb.
It was just, you never had a chance. It felt like every single time Aaron Rodgers dropped back, they were on him immediately. He's too old to be avoiding that pressure, and they don't have game breakers that can bail him out of things like that. The checkdowns were the only thing that could get working, and it was complete and utter domination. At no point in that game did I think the Steelers were going to win, regardless of how horrible C.J. Stroud looked. 5 fumbles, by the way.
Yeah,
2
walk off
taken back by Pitt, but like that one play where he like dropped the snap and then like tried to make something work off of 1 foot. Like, what the fuck was that, man?
Yeah, and the walk-off pick six was nice. That score doesn't bear out what actually happened in that game, because like a garbage time defensive touchdown, which, I mean, my draft
and a fumble recovery with like 10 minutes to go, something like that.
Yep. It just it was a tough way to go out for Aaron Rodgers. I kind of feel a little bad for him.
You don't mean that.
No, I don't. No, he's a ridiculous fucking human. So.
Yeah, I feel no sympathy for the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, nothing like that. Texans defense, I saw somebody call them 11 velociraptors with machine guns, and then somebody quoted it and was like, hell yeah, and it was just like Rambo'd out velociraptors with a Texas flag in the background.
Amazing.
That was incredible. Great thread. But anyway, I've feared them all year long. It's going to be an absolute battle. I wouldn't be shocked if we lose, but I obviously have blind faith in my guys, and we're going to get it done.
I am concerned.
Real quick, the drives following the turnovers for Pittsburgh. So they had 2 fumble recoveries and a pick.
Yep.
3 drives. They had 3 points, 32 yards, and oh, sorry, that was a different stat. But 32 yards, 3 points on 3 drives, and then
That's
throughout the entirety of the game, they saw 3rd and 10 9 separate times.
yeah.
That's just you're not moving the ball at all. Like
No, not even a
there's
little.
there's games where teams don't see 3rd down 9 times, let alone 3rd and 10.
It's not good. It was not good. I'll tell you what gives me a little bit of faith. If Nico Collins doesn't go,
He's out.
which is what I think they're still trying to get him back, but he's out, right? Like he's
I saw he's
concussed.
done for the year. Like they already shut him down.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that, but
I could be wrong, but that's what I saw.
he didn't
I
practice.
saw him. Gonzalez practiced today, and I saw
I like
Collins was
that.
like out for the game, not
like
out
that.
for practice.
I like that he practiced today because that's big. So if Gonzo's in, because Nico Collins reminds me a lot of the Drake London and the Falcons game plan,
Already 8. I was at that game.
and he crushed. Like he absolutely
But
killed.
did you notice what we didn't do this week? It's the same shit. Like you said, the defense was coached differently.
Yeah,
like
it
we
was.
didn't do that soft ass zone bullshit that we've done every
Nope.
single game.
They did.
I said it last week on the shows. Like if they do that, they're going to be in trouble, and we didn't.
Yeah, I liked
Really,
the
the
way the
first time
defense
all
was
year,
coached.
and all you heard about from the Chargers was like I couldn't even tell what coverage they were in.
Good. Let's keep it that way. With no offensive weapons, I am less scared of Houston than I would have been if they had Nico Collins. That's what I feel. Christian Kirk doesn't inspire fear, and Woody Marks and Nick Chubb don't inspire fear. Like they're not like I'm not shaking in my boots over either of those guys. I am more concerned about the defense than I am about any offensive players, and they may
Will
outscore.
Campbell looked bad.
Yeah, but he's a rook. Like he's going to have those
for
games.
sure, but he needs to not look like that against Daniil Hunter
I'm gonna
and
tell you
Will
that
Henderson.
Mike Vrabel probably spent extra time He's going to spend extra time this week going over the film and talking about how to not get bodied like that. You think that's not a priority?
Oh, definitely is. I just don't know what the ceiling for that is.
I think it's pretty high. He's been pretty great. So I'm not shaking over the Texans defense. They're quite good though. They're very good defense. They are probably one of the best 2 defenses left in the game.
We have a great offense, but if you told me to pick one team I don't want to see in the NFL right now, it's the Texans. Don't want to play.
Well, if there's one team, it's Seattle.
I think I'd rather play Seattle.
I would not. Their offense is much better. JSN.
I've watched their offense have several games where they
know.
put up 3 points and a half. I'm all right.
The only I think the different May will hold on to the ball. He's going to run and he's going to run his ass off. Whatever the May rushing prop is, take the over.
Yeah.
That Drake May is going to be not just, and I say
especially if he's under pressure. Yeah, he's going to be up and
he's going to
be
running for his life, but he has got to make that like the reason that Houston was able to shut Pittsburgh down so effectively is Aaron Rodgers is 41, 42. Like he's not running out of that. Drake May can shed those tackles and sprint upfield, and then it's a big gain. And you don't want to give that up. 1 or 2 of those, and all of a sudden they're maybe not.
Again, look at what happened with the Chargers.
Yeah.
May ran for 40, 50, 60 yards, and all of a sudden all the coverages changed in the second half. All the passing lanes opened up.
Yeah, I liked it. I think that you've got an opportunity. I want to see something here. I'm going to take a look. We want to talk about what was the?
Can we talk about Chris Collinsworth's fucking turtleneck and all of his hate he had for my team on Sunday? I'm so glad we're not the Sunday night game again. I couldn't do it 2 weeks in a row. All he did was shit on the Patriots every chance he got, and then we won, and he's like, this team's just so great, aren't they? And you're like, you spent 3 hours talking shit about us. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Suspect-ass turtleneck. He looked like he was trying to explain to me why there's more bathrooms in my school.
So, Houston's lost some, against some interesting opponents. Like, they lost to Jacksonville, 17-10. They lost to Denver, 18-15. Then they beat Jacksonville in a shootout.
These were all early in the year, by the way.
Those
They've
were
won 10
well.
straight.
The Denver was week 9. It was halfway through.
I don't think they've lost since then, right?
They haven't. No, they've been 9 straight.
Yeah.
9 straight. 10 now.
Yeah.
I would be. I mean, they almost lost to the Chargers, 20-16. It's a 2-point game against the Raiders.
It was week 1, Jim. I won't hear any of that.
16. Week 16 against the Raiders, 23-21. That's gross. I think the Chiefs were done by then. It was 20-10. Almost lost to the Colts. Beat the Bills. I think Houston's a great team. I don't think that New England's gonna I felt super comfortable thinking that New England was going to be able to handle the Chargers. But the Chargers' defensive line, their defensive front, is good. It's quite good.
I've been hyping that defense up all year. They've been fantastic.
And I think
Deion Henley is one of my favorite players in the league to watch.
But we're downplaying how good they are compared to the Texans. It was the Texans are world class. They're both top 5. The difference between number 1 and number 4 is not so great. It's that we're not talking about a canyon.
I'm way more afraid of the Chargers offense, regardless of the O-line, than I am of the Texans.
I think that's where I come down.
Keenan Allen
is where I come down.
Justin Herbert. I'd rather play that. I mean, I'd much rather see the Texans with Stroud, and Hutchinson, and
Jaden.
You see Stephen A. Smith call him Charlie.
Yes. God damn it. Charlie Kirk catching passes out here for goddamn Houston.
The memes were hilarious.
Yes. Yeah, they are. All right, let's talk about the other Sunday games. We were live on
we talked Saturday already. If you are interested in that, go
back and watch that. Go watch that Sunday live stream because we're not doing it again. All right. That was probably the lowest score. And by the way, the 16-3 was the worst game until the Monday nighter.
Yeah. Also, expect nothing different. It's going to be 13-10, 17-13.
Yeah. So Buffalo survived. Did that
barely?
We did that.
I told you that if that game came down to one possession, the Bills are going to win it,
and they did.
I didn't think it was going to be their defense to put the exclamation mark on it, but if you're the Jags,
that's kind of dumb luck, wasn't it?
Isn't. You can't let Josh Allen do a tush push for 10 yards on 4th and inches. That's on your defense. I'm sorry.
I think that had that reminded me a lot of when the Patriots lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl. They had Eli Manning wrapped up, and then they kind of let him out of it because they didn't want to get a flag. It felt to me like they had him tackled, and then he just kept pushing, and they're like, I don't hear the whistle. Why is there no whistle? And then they just kept going.
You play to the whistle.
I know you do. But they didn't.
I'd rather them throw a flag and be like, well, at least I lost doing my job, rather than...
I totally agree. Did they let him score? Yes. Yeah, they had to.
Also, kind of crazy that they even called that a touchdown. Am I wrong? That led to the 10-second runoff debacle and all that. Yeah. Look, odd call. He was very clearly a yard and a half short, but whatever, it didn't matter. And then Trevor Lawrence threw a ball immediately after, and Tre'Davious White, who had a fantastic game. That was the Tre'Davious White they drafted, what was it, fucking 7-8 years ago now?
Yes, it's been a while.
That's the guy they drafted way back when. He played fantastic. He had the swat at the end, tipped pass for the deflection, and INT. And that's it for the Jags. Great season. Great season.
I feel a little bad for them. That felt like a little bit of bad luck at the end there, but it's football. It's
football. They're on to bigger and better things. That division is super winnable.
They're back.
Trevor Lawrence, I feel unlocked something in that last back half of the year. Liam Cohen has clearly got a... Exactly. You didn't even have Travis Hunter for most of the season, who was your top 5 pick.
Yeah. That defense looks better with Travis Hunter.
Defense has been fantastic.
And the offense will look
Forced so many
different with
turnovers.
Travis Hunter. I think that they still need to improve. Obviously, draft will need to be significantly better. Well, not better, but it needs to be a good draft. But I think they have an opportunity here. 49ers.
What's the weather looking like, Welch? I got to check that out.
A cold.
Apparently.
Yeah, cold. 49ers. God damn it. They're a cockroach. They won't die.
One day they will.
They won't die. Probably.
We're getting closer. We took an Achilles.
So the football god said, "You don't get."
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. I hope Christian McCaffrey's happy with that. This is where his blood magic has landed them. You get a healthy Christian McCaffrey season, and literally everybody else dies.
Yeah, so George Kittle tore ACL.
Oh, that is gross weather in Chicago.
Yeah, it's really gross. So tore ACL, horrible. Still managed to Achilles, yes. Still managed to win the game. Jalen Hurts threw into triple coverage on a backyard TD, like a play that you would draw when you're like 7 years old. So you're like, let me draw up a play here. And we go, okay, you're going to run an out and you're going to run a hook. And that's what they did. And the defense was like, I think they're just going to run it out in a hook. We're just going to stay covered. And then they covered it. And somehow Jalen Hurts was like, I can fit that in there. I bet I could throw this ball over.
It was wild that it, like, again, I'm not in the huddle. I don't know what's going on, but it looked like Sirianni and Patullo and Hurts all sat down before that play with the timeout and were like, what do you want to run? Yeah. And he talked for like 45 seconds. And then they all went, okay, and turned around and walked away. And then that was what happened. They basically ran 4 verts.
Yep.
And he threw to the tight end route, little X over the middle with 3 guys there. And of course it didn't fucking work.
You're like weren't they in they were close to the red zone.
Yeah, but it was like 4th and 11.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is like a vert is not the play.
No, I mean, all of it was not the play. Yeah, I was dumbfounded watching the play call. I will admit I haven't seen it on like a all 22 view, so I could be wrong on the verts thing, but that's what it looked like. From 10 yards out, it looked like a fucking vert.
It looked so bad. Eagles are out.
I couldn't believe that was that. I mean, I can't because it's the Eagles. Yeah. You know how they say like teams embody their head coach, like the identity. That's like Vrabel's whole thing with the Pats this year. It's like identity.
Yep.
The Eagles like slowly adopt the Nick Sirianni clown makeup more and more each week.
Yeah. Nick Sirianni has the most punchable face in football.
That's why he has a paid security guard, because he knows he's going to say and do shit, and just being around with that type of face that he's probably going to get hit at some point. Regardless of what you think about AJ Brown.
Yeah.
And regardless, like, you can't be puffing your chest out to your own players in the middle of a playoff game. Whoever was out of line in that case, doesn't matter. You're the head coach. You need to be better.
He ran up the line.
His big-ass fucking Italian security guard had to get in between the two of them.
He sprinted up the line to tell him off.
In the middle of a playoff game that you lost.
Playoffs. It's the playoffs, man. Like, you got to do better than that. You got to be. The problem with it is you have to be a leader of men as a coach. Like, you have to like really have some leadership qualities, and I feel like he has the leadership qualities of a lost dog, which is not very good at all.
It's like he thinks he's the one out there doing everything.
100%.
There's like a big play on 3rd down, and he's like, that was me. I did that. Who do you think you are? I am. Like, that's Nick Sirianni.
What a great.
And the drops from AJ Brown too, like, Yeah, that can't happen. When you're as big of a diva as you are, and the amount of drama that comes to this team because of things that you do and say,
Yeah,
you need to be there in those moments. You're supposed to be the number one receiver. If you want the ball more, I'm fucking giving it to you. Make the play.
yeah,
There is
yeah.
nobody out there. Nobody's more passive aggressive and petty than a diva receiver who's done and wants out. Him at the end of the game just being like giving farewells and goodbyes, signing fucking Quinion Mitchell's jersey like it's a high school yearbook.
Yeah, it was great.
Do you want him?
No,
I don't.
no,
I think I have a feeling he's going to end up here, whether it's next year or he's Vrabel's guy.
I know he is.
I feel like he's going to be here at some
But
point, but I don't
I'm
want
gonna
him.
I'm
I'm
gonna be honest
good.
with you. I was a little concerned about Diggs,
Diggs has been a
but
blessing this year,
he's
dude.
been phenomenal, and he's kind of like stepped into that role model role for the hopefully not off the field,
If you
but
want to
like
look at
on the
one
field.
play as
Yeah,
to what Stephon Diggs has meant to this team, I forget the opponent now, but that onside kick
yeah,
was like a month or two ago where
yeah.
he went up above everybody, took a shot.
Yep.
Like that's what Stephon Diggs has been
Wants
this
to
year.
win.
Wants to win, true leader, showing the younger guys how it's done, especially in a receiver room where there's so many young guys. Let's just not look at like his personal life and off-field stuff, but everything he's doing in the building has been A1.
Yeah, we don't talk about the off the field stuff. That's fine.
Yeah, whatever. That's different.
That's its own business. We don't deal with that. We only talk football.
Party.
Saturday, the Broncos are playing the Bills. I asked in the poll question which team has the most to lose this weekend. And right now, Denver is the prevailing winner. I actually think it's Buffalo.
I voted Denver and Buffalo on my two accounts, and I was like, because I'm torn. I couldn't tell you either way. I think as a team aspect, I think it's probably Denver just because of the season you've had, the defense you've had, the performance you've gotten out of Bo Nix, the fact that you get the home field advantage, and
Yeah.
how impactful home field advantage is when you're a mile above sea level. But then when you turn to the Bills, like much like their keys to victory, it's all centered around Josh Allen, like him being Superman. And there's no better year for him to go out and just ball out and win a fucking Super Bowl on his back than a year where there's no Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow.
It's a lot of road games.
It is. And like I think this is probably the worst roster that the Bills
is
have had
by
since
far
they've
the
had
worst.
Josh Allen.
Yep.
I keep seeing people in the media being like, "Oh, this is the year for Josh Allen. He's finally going to be his Super Bowl year." And I'm like, "What?
Disagree.
Disagree. He has to play like an absolute demon, which he does. He's Josh Allen. Look at the fourth quarter against Jacksonville. Despite all the injuries and shit, he's still out there making plays with fucking Tyrell Shavers. I hardly know her, but
Pretty sure he's gone.
yeah, he's out IR. But again, this is what I mean.
I know.
Gabe Davis got banged up too. There's only so much the guy can do.
Josh Allen throwing
If he
hospital
were
balls. And
if he were to win it, like it's an absolute masterclass, and it's been essentially that already. But as far as like one person, he might look back at it and be like, "I missed out. That was my year. I needed to win that year when there's less competition around." But
my favorite thing I saw this weekend was Josh Allen throw a hospital ball to Gabe Davis, who no longer has legs. And Tony
just like
Romo
old
says,
times,
Tony Romo goes, "What a great pass from Josh Allen."
Romo's awful. Him and
You imagine
him and Collinsworth were
together.
they were having their own playoffs. It was like who could be a worse announcer? Who can say the most obvious, dumbest shit and make the worst noises possible?
Meanwhile, Tom Brady's out here showing you how to throw the ball into the wind. I'm gonna teach you something. I'm gonna teach you football. Listen up, kids.
Tony Romo was like, "Oh, I've got this. I'm the bigger asshole." And then he saw Collinsworth in that turtleneck, looking like the human embodiment of the hotel cuck chair, and he was like, "Fuck, he got me again, that bastard."
Can't keep getting away with this.
God, he's just insufferable. He's so much better at this than me.
Who do you got? Denver. You got Buffalo.
This was the hardest one for me. I went Denver.
My gut tells me Buffalo.
I do too. I feel like I have a meeting with Buffalo, like the
In
grudge
Foxborough.
match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like something that's gonna happen. But just kind of like what I just talked about with Josh Allen is like at some point the Superman shit is gonna have to end. That
This
defense
team
is
has way too many
so
holes.
good. The Bills have so many holes. They just lost possibly two. I haven't seen anything about Gabe Davis. I just know he left that game with an injury, and
Yeah.
I know Terrell Shavers is out, who has been getting not a ton of targets, but
Enough.
he's been there. Yeah,
Yep.
enough for me to know his name. Um, so I just worry that the Bills are going to run out of steam, and I've preached so much.
Buffalo
Mile
wins.
High is a different animal, dude. Like there's players on the Bills that I'm sure are gonna walk into Mile High and be like, "Oh, this is different. This is way different than I thought."
Buffalo had the number one rush offense in the league all year long, and went to Jacksonville, who had number one rush defense in the league, and now they get to go play Denver, who was also quite good against the run.
I noticed you didn't hear much from James Cook.
James Cook was pretty quiet. Josh Allen had to win it on his own. I think he's going to have to do it again, but I think
And he
there's
just picks up another injury or two every game. Like
there's
I just feel like the luck's gonna run out. But if you were, again, this is the or Houston is, I wouldn't be shocked. But I lean Denver.
yeah.
There's a reason this game is a 1.5 point spread.
Yes.
But again, much like the Jags game last week, the only way Buffalo wins is Josh Allen balling the fuck out.
I don't disagree with you. The other game that night, the night game, is the Niners and Seahawks. This is Seattle's game to lose. Seattle's got a lot to lose. Here.
Is there any reason for me to think this is going to go any differently than when they played a couple weeks ago?
Sammy D in prime time? It's the only
I mean,
thing
that game was
scares
in
me.
prime time.
Yeah, sure. That was one. Everybody gets one.
And not that he played crazy, but like the Seahawks still got it done. That's
The
kind of my point.
Seattle's defense is what's going to win this game.
Exactly. And now you have no Kittle.
The two running backs. Yeah, I know.
I just there I really
They might get Ricky Pearsall
49er hater
back,
for
but
it. I don't care. I still don't think they're gonna win this. But again, I shit on them for the Eagles game, and the Eagles still found a way to fuck that up.
if you ask me who I think is going to win this game, I think it's Seattle.
I think
Um,
it's Seattle.
I don't think it's all that close. I'm just
What did I
playing a
write
little.
for my prediction?
I am
I
just
said Seahawks 27, Niners 17.
I am just playing a little devil's advocate here and asking. Charles Cross is back. I think Seattle wins this game. I don't think it's all that close, to be honest with you.
No, I'm good.
I don't think Warner's coming back.
I'm just glad the Niners got their sad drinking out of the way early. They got that tequila bottle sent.
Yeah,
Funny imagery watching George Kittle just chugging Patron straight from the bottle while the team is like celebrating a win. Everyone's like, "Yeah, next round," and he's just belligerently drunk in the back, like, "I used to be the shit. I would have been, I would have been Super Bowl MVP, but I blew out my knee."
we could have won state. God damn it! Full on Uncle Rico. We already talked a little bit about Texans Patriots. Didn't get your prediction though. What are you going with here?
Texans Patriots?
Yeah.
I had Pats 17, Texans 13.
I also think the Patriots win this game. Full homer. Patriots.
This
30.
is going to be a bloodbath, though.
Patriots
Like it's
30,
going to be
Texans
ugly.
3.
You're going to come out of this game, and we're going to be like, I don't believe in the Patriots. Like that's going to be the media thing because
Yeah.
it's going to be a slugfest.
It's going to be a defensive struggle, but I have all the faith in Mike Vrabel to coach this team the right way.
How'd the Pats dynasty start?
The same way, like the exact same way.
If we meet the Rams in the Super Bowl, you know how this is going to go.
Yeah, we've been there before, several times actually. Da Bears are playing Da Rams. Matthew Stafford is phenomenal.
What a transition.
But he is not great in weather, despite what he will tell you.
He wasn't great without weather against the Panthers.
He
That last
sure
drive was electric. Like that's MVP Matt Stafford. And I'm a Matt Stafford guy. I feel like I've been very Matt Stafford negative because of the MVP race and some biases potentially. But
I said if Matt Stafford wins MVP, he deserves it. And if Drake
He
May
does.
wins it, he also deserves it. It's not all that complicated.
Matt
They're both
Stafford
deserving.
suffered for far too long in Detroit.
They're both deserving candidates, but it's not a lifetime achievement award. That's why you don't just give it to him because he's old.
For sure.
That's a shitty argument. I hate that. And people, he's played so much longer. He deserves it because he's been in the league longer. No, that's not how the MVP works. Is the most valuable player. If you feel that he is the most valuable, then give it to him. If you don't, give it to the other guy.
I still think MVP has a big argument for like what happens if they swap teams, and I know that gets into what ifs that can only go so far, but I do think it's a valid.
It's valid. I hate the argument of like he's old, so we should reward him for his age. It's like that's what pensions are for, man. Like, fuck. It's not what
He'll get that eventually.
you don't get
He's
an
got NFL
MVP.
health insurance for 5 more years.
5 more years.
Shout out Phil Rivers.
I think that it's going to be. My concern with this game is the Bears' defense is sometimes good, sometimes is shit.
They're bad. I'm willing to say they're bad. They just force a fuck ton of turnovers.
Yes.
They just get picks at like the most opportune time you've ever seen in your life. Like if the Bears need a turnover, they're gonna get it.
If the Bears are down double digits going into the fourth quarter,
everything is going to go right for them. Yeah,
you better,
Matt LaFleur is going to roll over and die and just hand you the game.
Live bet it. Not financial advice. Like, goddamn.
It might be. It's worked several times. I've done it myself.
It's kind of ridiculous. They were down 18, came back.
And you're like, oh, which game did they do that in? Because it's been so many.
All of them. Almost all of them. It's not one game. It's many games.
It was their 7th win trailing with like however many minutes to go in the 4th.
What I want is Seattle to win and the Rams to win. So we get a Seattle LA rematch because I feel like that's what we deserve in the NFC. But if the Bears win, it would just be kind of like this weird comedy of like you've been awful for so long and your team was predicated on defense and running the ball. And now it's predicated on coming back from 8 billion every single time. And I don't know how you do that.
They somehow always do it.
But you always do it.
They were dead in the water in that game. They went for it on 4th down so many times because they're like, our defense is just not going to do it. And then the second half, their defense, I think there was 4 Packers drives coming out of the second half where they got 9 yards total.
My gut wants me to have, that's all I want, Welch. I just want the NFC West playing themselves.
Yeah, it's literally an NFC West Mortal Kombat tournament to decide who gets to go play the Patriots.
And the Bears are also here. The Bears. Playing cardiac.
Being said, I have the Bears.
Are you going to take the Bears?
I am, because one, they're in bear weather. That influenced me a lot, I'm not going to lie.
Yep.
And 2, I'm just done betting against them. It doesn't matter how much they go down. It always comes down to the 4th quarter, and they somehow just get it done.
Crazy thing.
And I just watched the Rams struggle for 4 quarters against the Panthers, at least offensively.
Also had the Bears. I think that the bear weather plays a bigger factor in this. And Stafford can say everything you want about playing in the cold. You played in a dome, jabroni.
Rams were 3 for 13 on 3rd down, and if I'm not, I might be wrong. I think 2 of those were on that last drive.
Rams have not been as good as they should have been. They're fighting a bit of injury. I'm not sure how healthy Stafford is. I don't know how much more he's got. He's done a lot. Devontae Adams came back, but
what's the number?
He was banged up. I don't know what the spread is.
I'll figure it out.
Hold on, I'll tell you. 4. It's 4 points. Rams are favored by 4. Which
in
is like
Chicago.
Yeah.
So that's, again, if they're in LA, that's a 7-point spread.
Yep.
I just saw the Rams with a 10-point spread and they fucked it.
Yeah. 10.5. They really screwed that up. They're like, maybe less. Maybe a little less. I'm also going with the Bears. Bears, Seattle for the NFC Championship. And I think it's going to be New England and Buffalo for the right to represent the AFC. I would love it.
come down to the fucking wire.
Yeah, it's going to be there. You got a stone story for us so we can get out of here?
Do we want any coaching updates?
Oh,
Mike
we can talk.
Tomlin
Yeah, we can talk
fired.
about. Let's talk about Mike Tomlin. We should talk about Mike Tomlin, I guess.
Also,
I'm sorry, I got
before we do that, let's talk about the Ravens real quick. Did you see his interview? The
Yeah.
owner.
only if John goes to Pittsburgh.
That's who they asked him about the loop field goal, and they're like, "Well, did that change anything? Like, would that have allowed Harbaugh to keep his job if he made that field goal?" He's like, "For a week," which I don't think I've ever heard him talk. What a voice!
Yeah, owners are just out here being rich and shit. He sounds rich. That guy sounds rich.
He sounds like I don't fucking know the actor's name. I'll get back to you, but he sounds like a specific actor. He's in the fucking Walking Dead. He's in something else too. I saw Sons. He was in Sons. I don't know.
God damn it.
Name's not there. I'll find it at some point. I'll post it on Twitter or something.
But
yeah, hilarious interview. That whole thing, I was like, this is awesome. I couldn't believe it. It was like, that was 10 minutes already? That interview was electric.
He was fantastic.
And then before we get to Tomlin, Dan Soder, comedian, he's friends with Mike McDaniel. They've like known each other forever. Went fucking off on the Dolphins and Stephen Ross. He's like, that fucking piece of shit Stephen Ross stabbed him in the back. Aikman had something to do with it. Fuck him. Fuck the Dolphins. I just want to clip part of it to put it on my soundboard. It was like the fuck the Dolphins, fuck the fan base. Your logo sucks.
He hated everything.
I loved it. It was a great rant. The only thing that ruined it was Mark Norman, like, who's a great comedian. I think he's hilarious, but he just has this. I don't know if he's autistic. He just does not know how to listen to people. You say something, and he's like, "Oh, yeah," like, just the most condescending. I'm not listening to you ever. But if you took that part out, incredible rant. Mike Tomlin.
So the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's start here. The Pittsburgh Steelers are famous for not firing coaches like ever. They don't fire coaches. They've had 4 ever. Is that correct? I think it's 4.
Yeah.
They don't like it is not an organization that turns over coaches. You get hired, you do the job. So that's what you're there for. And every single time a coach has a rough go, it's like the coach has decided to step down. Like every single time. I'm pretty sure that's what happened with Bill Cowher too. He's like, I think I might retire, and it's like,
Kraft and Belichick just did the same thing where they're like,
Yes.
"No, I'm stepping down." It's like, "No, you're getting fired."
No, you might as well like paint it on your forehead that you fired. Do you think he was fired, or do you think this is like a Tomlin decision that he was like they were like okay to bring him back, and like because that's what the media is making it out to be, that Mike Tomlin had an opportunity to come back, but I don't think he did.
I think they probably presented him with, "We can't keep doing this. We need to make major changes. What do you think?" And he was like, "I'm just going to step away for a bit." I think they were going to fire him if he was like, "No, I think everything's going great." But he was fired. he was
fired, right? Like he was fired. Yeah. It's not all that complicated.
I just think the Steelers are such like they have such an aversion to firing people that they probably spun it in a way where he was like, "I'm getting fired, aren't I?" But and again, they even allowed him in that conversation to have the dignity, let alone in the media.
Very sneaky to retain his rights, though.
Very.
It's not fired, but it is, Jim. This is
it's like, well, if you want him, you got to pay me for him. But
you're fired, but you're not really fired. You're fired as in.
I mean, it's kind of a heads up move because you're gonna have to pay him anyway, even if you fire him.
Yep.
So why not pay him and keep his rights?
You keep his rights and you can get something for him, and you know he's going to be wanted. That's the other part of this. Is like, you know he's not good for your team anymore, but he's going to be great for somebody else. And you know,
am I crazy to think he doesn't coach anytime soon, if at all?
You're not. I don't think he comes back at all next year.
I think he just goes to CBS, and that's where he's at.
How much money did they pay Tom Brady? How much money did Fox pay Tom Brady?
Like more than God.
Like 300-something million, wasn't it?
Something my baseball team would just never do.
Yeah, it was
An
way
amount of
more.
money that they would look at and go, "What? You'd
Tom
make a
Brady
great piece in
sucks.
San Francisco. Give me Jordan Hicks."
10 years, 375 million. I think that Mike Tomlin will get 20 million a year or more.
He's making 16 to step away. Am I wrong?
I'm going to find out.
I think he gets 16 million just to hang out, which just again, there is no better career path than like being a backup quarterback or like a fired coach. You just make buttloads of money to just sit at home, hang out, drink whiskey, do whatever the fuck you want to do.
I mean, 37 and a half is a lot. Tomlin's compensation ranks highest in NFL coaches. Reportedly indicated his contract worth around 50 million over the 3 years, which is about 16 and a half. Yeah.
The fact
So
they're willing to eat that and tell him to not coach anymore means he was fired.
if I told you that he gets 20 million a year to go to CBS, would you be shocked?
No, not at all. I'd
If
be
you're,
slightly shocked it's that low.
if you're Amazon, are you not like going, I'll give you 30? Fox should give him 30 so that I don't have to listen to Gronk. I love Gronk, but that
Have I
guy,
talked about how much I love the Amazon broadcast, by the way?
no, you haven't, but we can.
I do love it. I think it's awesome. I think the next gen stat track thing is awesome. They have an absolute
Yes.
abomination human that runs it. Sam Schwartzstein looks like Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Eyebrows going crazy, but and that's coming from a guy who should not be insulting people on their looks. But great broadcast through and through. And I still love Al Michaels. No one will make me hate Al Michaels.
Motherfucker doesn't like vegetables. How can you
I
hate
spent half the game trying to decipher what he bet on. Because you can figure it out 9 times out of 10.
20 million for a studio host? Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
That's what they do. They gave Tom Brady 300
Not
million.
just
He never
to
commentated before. How
not
much money was Matt Ryan making? Was that out there?
we'll find
Because
out.
they'll probably just flip whatever salary that was.
Let's look it up because this is really what it comes down to. Why don't you tell me how much he makes?
In the meantime, I'll give you some Tomlin stats over the last few years here.
Yep.
Steelers have been in the playoffs since 2017. They're 0-6 with a negative 87 point differential. 5 out of those 6 losses have been by 10 points, and all 5 of those are in a row, consecutive. They're the only team in NFL history to lose 5 straight playoff games by 10 points or more.
Yeah.
Tough look.
They say that Ryan's is like 2 million. Oh, I know it's not 20 mil. Jim, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying you want the guy, you're going to pay for him. You're going to pay for him. It's a lot easier, a lot lighter work, that's for sure. Do you want him in the studio or do you want him in a booth? That's the question. What does he want to do?
I don't give a fuck.
I'll
As long as
listen
he's not. Yeah, sure. I don't care. He can go back to Pittsburgh for all I
Give
fucking
him
care.
his own goddamn podcast. I don't give a shit. Put him
I
wherever
just
you
know
want.
this was a long time coming.
It definitely was. Okay, now
It's also wild. Like Zach Taylor looks around at the AFC North and he's like, "Me?
this guy.
I'm the guy that's still here for real." And the Ravens and the Steelers would never do it, but they have the opportunity to do the funniest thing of all time, and just
Yeah.
Freaky Friday. And then they each spend the next 18 years there. And it's just a beautiful storybook close for both of them.
Yeah.
They each win one Super Bowl. They don't mean to.
Some backup quarterback wins it.
Yeah. Some guy built the roster for them to do it.
It's Tony Dungy. That's who did it. All right. Give me a Stone story. Let's get out of here.
Oh, yeah, I got one of those. We're going to Florida. Shocker.
Shocker.
We were between 2. The other one was in Ireland, but I preferred this one. A 55-year-old massage parlor employee was arrested for battery last weekend, according to Fort Walton Police Department. Bear with me with the name. Fang Wang. Vampire porn star. Like that's the only words that should follow Fang Wang. She became passive aggressive during a routine health inspection at Palms of Emerald Coast Massage Parlor on Beale Parkway, which I'm sure is a sister location to Orchids of Asia. Shout out Robert Kraft. Wang began yelling at a Department of Health employee and attempted to force them out of the business, according to police. Police say officers responded to the incident around noon. When officers stepped in to detain Wang, wish somebody would, she reportedly started defecating towards officers to evade arrest. Shitting directionally is a talent.
That's
Shitting on command is a talent, but if you're going to combine the two, that might be
that's a
a sort
superpower.
of exactly. That's something we haven't seen in the
That's some
league.
Avenger shit.
For real. It's like, what do you do? I shit in your general direction, pal. Shout out Monty Python. Wang was charged with battery on a DOH employee and resisting an officer. This investigation was a follow up in relation to a search warrant previously served on this location, which has gone under the names Blue Bay Massage and Spa, New Magnolia Spa, and Classy Spa, where Wang was present during each investigation. Any single time the health inspector shows up, she's got to completely rebrand. And that's the type of day spa where I expect, like, maybe that is part of the happy ending. Maybe shitting in your general direction is just part of the experience at a place like that. Also, I'm not going to Classy Spa for a massage. Come on,
Uh, I like that
you
you
know
had
what
to
I'm
say
here for.
where Wang was present. I prefer to be where Wang isn't present.
Typically, Wang is present at Orchids of Asia Day Spa.
There's a lot of Wang present.
It's mostly
Too
Wang.
much. It's a lot. It's more the ratio of Wang is way too high here.
Fang Wang, what a name.
Incredible.
Ugh. There were
Incredible.
quotes in there, but I couldn't read them without potentially doing an accent, and I don't think we need that.
We're trying not to get canceled. We're gonna not getting canceled here. I know we're a little edgier, but we're not getting canceled.
I was like, I skip that paragraph. I don't trust myself.
That's probably wise. All right, I think we're done. We're done for the day. Same bad time on Sunday. Yeah, yeah. Everybody wang. Oh, my fang. Uh, Sunday. We do Sunday
Like,
morning
what is
show
this
again.
Wang Fang in your search history? It's like, not my proudest crank.
Jesus. Sunday show. Just a quicken. Probably around the same time as last week. Just talk about the Saturday games. We'll give you some thoughts and insight for DFS and wagers for your Sunday games. And that's it. And we'll see you back here Wednesday for another great North Sports. Appreciate
Fuck
everybody
yeah.
jumping in. We will see you on Sunday. Be safe. Peace.